Most people spend almost 2 hours of their Disney day just moving between parks, and they have no idea. Park hopper sounds like the smartest way to do Disney. More parks, more rides, more value. But for most people, it quietly turns into lost time, lost money, and a much more rushed day than it needs to be. I'm Lee with All About the Duck. In this part of our You're Doing Disney Wrong and It's Not Your Fault series, where we take the things everyone thinks you have to do at Disney and show you a better way. Now, at Walt Disney World, the park hopper option feels like an upgrade. More flexibility, more options, more value. And we've used it. We've bounced from park to park, trying to fit in as much as possible. But over time, we started noticing something. The more we hopped, the less we actually got done. Because here's the part most people don't think about: getting from one park to another takes time, not just travel time, walking out of the park, waiting for transportation, getting to the next park, going through security again. It adds up fast. What feels like a quick switch can easily turn into 45 minutes, sometimes an hour or more. We've actually timed this. Magic Kingdom to Epcot on a moderate crowded day, door to door, was 58 minutes, nearly an hour gone. And that's time you're not riding rides, not exploring, not enjoying the park. You're just in transit. And this is where a lot of people get caught. They see a shorter wait time in another park or think, we'll just hop over and do a few things there. But now you're chasing the next move again. Instead of maximizing where you are, you're leaving it. And here's something most people don't realize. Here's the thing about that wait time dropping in another park: 1,000 other people just saw the same thing you did. Everyone is watching the same wait times in my Disney experience. So, what looked like a good move doesn't look so good anymore by the time you get there. And you're starting the process all over again. Now, this doesn't mean park hopper is always a bad idea. It can be worth it if you actually have a plan for how you're going to use it. Because if you don't, it's really easy to spend the extra money and not get much out of it. It can make sense if you're staying multiple days and want flexibility. This is for the planner who already knows exactly where they're going and wants options baked in. You're only targeting a few key rides in each park. If you got one specific thing to hit, like a hard to get dining reservation at another park, hopping makes total sense. You like ending your night in a different park? This is actually our personal favorite move. Start your day at Magic Kingdom, end the night at Epcot for the nighttime show. That's a great day. But that's the key. It has to be intentional, not just, we'll hop over and see what happens, because that's usually where the time and the value start slipping away. Here's what we've found works better for most people. Instead of hopping between parks all day, focus on one park. Pick your priorities. Use strategies like rope drop. Use your line eye test and move through the park efficiently. If you haven't seen those videos yet, I'll link them in the description. They'll completely change how you move through a park. When you stay in one place, you're not losing time to transportation. You're building momentum. You're already in the area, already near your next ride, already in the flow of the park. And that makes a big difference. Let's say you're at Magic Kingdom. and you decide to hop over to Epcot. Sounds simple, but now you're walking out of Magic Kingdom, getting to transportation, waiting, traveling, going through entry again. That's easily close to an hour. Meanwhile, the person who stayed at Magic Kingdom just rode Pirates, Big Thunder, and still had time to grab a Dole Whip. Same time, completely different experience. Some of our best days at Walt Disney World have been when we didn't hop at all. One of our favorite days ever was a full day at Hollywood Studios. We had a plan, we stayed put, and we rode everything we wanted twice. No rushing, no transit time eating into our day, just momentum. We stayed in one park, moved at our own pace, used the strategies we've talked about, and we ended up doing more without feeling rushed. Park hopper isn't a bad option, but for most people, it's not the advantage it sounds like. And if you don't have a plan for how you're going to use it, there's a good chance you're paying for something you don't really need. Sometimes the best move is not adding more to your day, it's getting the most out of where you already are. Keep it simple, stay in the moment, and let the park come to you. If this helped you rethink how you plan your day, we've got an entire series just like this. You're doing Disney wrong, and it's not your fault, where we break down the things that used to work and what actually works now. Next up, we're breaking down why Genie Plus isn't saving you as much time as you think and what to do instead. That one is going to change how you look at your whole day. So make sure you go check that one out next. And if you found this helpful, make sure you like and subscribe. And as always, see you real soon.